Welcome back to the Backyard Podcast with your host, Marcellus Howard. And today, got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of NBA topics going on in the NBA stratosphere, atmosphere. But the main one being Draymond Green. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. He is being suspended for 5 games for putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold, giving him a nuggie. Put him in a little big bro, little bro, big bro, little bro headlock. It was a little bit uncalled for. I was watching this clip about it actually on the Gilbert Arenas podcast between Kenyon Martin and Rashad McCants. Basically, they had 2 different takes on it. Rashad McCants was basically saying Draymond Green shouldn't have came across and put his hands on Rudy Gobert in that fashion, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Rudy Gobert was the one separating it. He said Draymond should have took his aggression and took it out or pointed his aggression towards Jaden McDaniels and took it out on him because he was the one actually going at it with Klay Thompson, his teammate. But then basically what Kenyon Martin was saying was, if you touch my teammate, you know what I'm saying, all bets is off, which I could understand that too, you know what I'm saying, because you're supposed to have your teammates back. So he basically, what he was saying was his hands touched Klay Thompson, and once that happens, all bets is off. And he basically said, keep your hands to yourself. Now, I'm not mad at that either. I feel like there's no right or wrong answer in terms of it because everybody looks at it a different way. And different angles show different types of stuff that was going on in the scuffle between Rudy Gobert and Klay Thompson. But I don't think personally the chokehold, even bodes well for the Golden State Warriors, let alone Draymond Green, because he's putting his team in a sticky situation now because Steph Curry's out. He's out for 5 games. Or ironically, the game he returns is against the Sacramento Kings. Go figure. But now you got 2 of your main 3 missing games. So it's like, okay, cool. We get a chance to get Klay Thompson back on track because he's been shooting, I think, 34% from the 3-point line. I think 42 or 41% from the field. So we haven't got to see really the elite shooting of Klay Thompson this year. He's kind of in a struggle boat. But this is the perfect time for him to get out of that struggle mode. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Klay Thompson responds after all this altercation stuff happened. And a little more details about this. Before I do that, I want to, go ahead and say, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening on all audio platforms, give me a 5-star rating and continue to run those downloads up. Help this podcast continue to grow. I greatly appreciate it. Now, going back into the details. Jaden McDaniels, Klay Thompson, and Rudy Gobert got fined $25,000 each. Now, for Rudy Gobert to get fined, become a meme, choked out on national television, is absolutely astronomical. I feel like the end times in here, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in a day and age where you can get choked out, and you got to pay the fine. Yeah. But those are the details of what was going on. But I kind of want to dive into a little bit more of the Draymond Green situation with the Golden State Warriors. And the Golden State Warriors just recently paid Draymond Green $100 million after letting Jordan Poole basically walk and shipping him to the Washington Wizards. I was watching Kendrick Perkins talk about this on ESPN today, and he was saying, do you think the Warriors basically regret giving Draymond Green all that money? And Brian Windhorst was saying, no, I don't think they regret it because you got to think at the end of the day, regardless of what's happening, Draymond Green is still a part of Dynasty championship team. He's won 4 NBA championships with this team. Their last championship being in 2022, I believe, when they beat the Boston Celtics. So, was that 21? I think it was 2022 because in 2022 it was Golden State Warriors and then it was the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. So my take on it is I personally, I would have gave Draymond all that money too. He's the heart and soul of my team. He is the driver of the bus. He keeps the train going. You know what I mean? With Draymond Green, we have a way better chance of winning than without Draymond Green. Now we don't know what Draymond Green's career would look like if he was playing for another team. That's a whole other discussion for another day. But everybody's always saying, well, Draymond played for the Detroit Pistons or a bottom team, he would be obsolete and he wouldn't be even talked about. And I said, well, it's hard to say because, it's he say, she say. Of course, everybody thinks the differences in situations and scenarios, a player is going to look better or worse. But at the end of the day, we will never know because it's never happened. And that's like basically saying, man, you know what? Michael Jordan would never won a Super Bowl. We don't know because it never happened. And it probably would never happen. So Draymond Green is going to retire a Golden State Warrior, whether you like it or not. Now, I joked around on the podcast with Kenny basically saying he's trying to find his way out of Golden State, but I was just fully joking. I think Draymond is just trying to figure it out, man. As you get older and kids and teenagers and grown men and young men coming into the league are getting better and better and better and better than you are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that you used to do, it might get a little bit frustrating, you know? So you kind of have to assert physical dominance in places where you used to be able to, let your game necessarily do the talking. But Draymond Green suspension basically came because they said they looked into past incidences or past incidents that involved Draymond Green. I think the most recent one was when he A-Town stumped Sabonis in the chest during the playoff series. But his track record definitely isn't the best. I'll definitely say that. Definitely isn't the best. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta look at Draymond Green's career and realize, regardless of the technical fouls, the ejections, the suspensions, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Whether you want to agree with it or not, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we all have to, come to, agreement with that that's part of the game and that's part of his resume. So it's when we see Draymond Green as a whole, his whole body of work, man, he's in a Hall of Famer. He's an excellent basketball player. Like, we would love, as Sacramento Kings, we would love a Draymond Green on our team. I think that's one player that we're missing. We're missing a player that has grit. Every championship team kind of has that guy that is super gritty, just doing all the dirty work. We have a few of those guys, but it's like with Draymond Green, that is the role he lives in, like a Marcus Smart, like a PJ Tucker, all these guys that even on the Denver Nuggets, you have Aaron Gordon and a Caldwell Pope. You have two guys who are willing to do all the dirty work and just not be the face of the team, but put in so much work to help the team succeed. I feel like that's what the Sacramento Kings are missing, a Draymond Green type of player. Marcus Smart, etc., etc. Now, where does Draymond Green go from here? I think Draymond Green is perfectly fine. This is just a small hiccup. Now, if they go 0-5 in this spurt, that's going to hurt a lot because then you drop, I believe they're on a 4-game losing streak, so you're on a 9-game losing streak. Then you have to continue to climb yourself back into the play-in game all season while the other teams are winning. And it just becomes a whole, shit show because then you don't want to be in a situation where you're the Golden State Warriors and you have to face the Denver Nuggets in the first round. That's a very bad matchup for this currently constructed Golden State Warriors team who is predominantly smaller. And they didn't kind of address that in the offseason. I thought in the offseason they would have addressed the height situation or the lack thereof. But instead they signed Chris Paul, which was an amazing signing, but they didn't fill the gap of size with, in layman terms, Paul's girth. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that, but you don't want to be in a situation if you're going to say words, man. So I think you want to do your dirty work early with them. But yeah, that whole situation, we'll keep tabs on it and we'll keep updating. I'll keep updating you guys as much as I can. You guys probably already get the updates quicker than I post, so I just get on here and kind of talk a little after I get all the details. I'm a person that likes to talk after I get all the details instead of just going and talking about something I don't know everything about. So with Draymond Green, once again, I do feel like he has to clean up a little bit, just a little bit. I can't tell him how to do his job, though. You know what I'm saying? He's done an excellent job getting to where he is in today's world. I'm just looking from the outside looking in saying, hey, man, Steph looks a little frustrated with the antics and all that, but at the end of the day, he's a 4-time champ. So what can I say? Now moving on, the Los Angeles Kings. No, the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers played again for the second time last night. There was an outstanding, interesting fact that I didn't know going into the game was that Anthony Davis has never beaten Domantas Sabonis. He is 0-8 against Domantas Sabonis. Now, I'm not sure if that's in his career or if that is just as a Laker. But then I thought about it. I said, well, Domantas Sabonis used to be at OKC. So I don't know if they're counting that game or those games. Then he went to Indiana where he was kind of the main focal point. So I think they're counting when he started to become a main focal point. But I think that, I don't know. Maybe it's the games Anthony Davis played in that's the bonus played in. He's never won. But anywho, 0-8 against somebody at your position, given that you're supposed to be a top 5, top 7 player in the NBA, is actually kind of alarming. In the first half, Domantas Sabonis was eating up Anthony Davis. It was abysmal. Bro, I've never seen Sabonis have his way like that. Usually he has to work for everything he gets. He was having his way with an NBA superstar. We rarely see that with Sabonis. Usually he's working to get his stuff off. He's still hooping. But last night, he had double-double in the first 12 to 14 minutes. You know what I'm saying? The first half. It was mind-blowing. I was like, bro, I forgot Anthony Davis was on the floor. It got to a point where I literally was watching the game and I said, "Oh dang, I forget. Maybe Anthony Davis isn't playing today. They're resting because I saw Jackson Hayes on the floor." And then I go on the stat sheet in the box score just to make sure I wasn't tweaking because I watched the game and I said Anthony Davis. I said 4 points. I said, damn. You allowed Domantas Sabonis to hold you to 4 points. A person who's not even known for defense. Think about that. Domantas Sabonis has never been known for defense in his life. Yet he's holding you to 4 points. Unacceptable, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has to be dominant. You can't rely on a triple-double from LeBron James to beat a younger team that scores at an exceedingly high clip in the Sacramento Kings. Now, we're 2-0 against the Lakers this year. I said on Twitter before the season even started, the Sacramento Kings are better than the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody gets in their feelings saying, oh, man, yeah, it's regular season, yada, yada, yada. But this is before the season starts. So actually, everybody was saying, man, y'all not going to beat us this season. Like, like Sacramento Kings are washed, whatever, yada, yada. Y'all had one good year, lucky, whatever. We're up 2-0 now. I tweeted the same tweet last night. I said, Kings are better than Lakers. Out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, all of a sudden the narrative changed. Y'all don't want to see us in the postseason. Yeah, regular season. On my mind. These are the same people that was saying the regular season was going to be different this year than it was last year. Because last year, we beat you guys 3-1. And then y'all kept saying, oh, we didn't have our full team. But we beat y'all twice this year with Anthony Davis and Go James. Now what? It's a team sport. You have the bigger names. We have the better team. Respectfully. Like the Lakers aren't a weak team. A weak team is the Memphis Grizzlies right now are abysmal. The Washington Wizards, oh my God. Detroit Pistons, But like I'm saying is, just give us our credit. And I beg to differ. You guys really want to see us in a 7-game series. You don't want to see a team that scores at a rate that we do. We score way too much and way too fast for y'all to keep up with every single game for a 7-game series. We're not the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? The Golden State Warriors are always a tough matchup for us. But we're a tough matchup for y'all. Go figure. But you're a tough matchup for the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors is a tough matchup for us. We're a tough matchup for y'all. So it's basically a round robin of everybody's tough matchup for one another. Yeah, that kind of makes no sense. But y'all don't want to see us in a 7-game series. I'm saying that right now. It'll get real ugly. And, actually, I don't mind breaking Laker fan spirits. I really don't care. We also got to see De'Aaron Fox back in action again last night for the second time since the ankle injury. 28 points in 38 minutes. Exceptional. 21 points in the first half. Given that the second half, we were blowing them out. Then it came back and made a run, so we had to pull all the starters back in and play the rest of the game. But like I said, when you see the score sheet, it's not going to tell you that. It's going to say, oh, we won by 15 points. It's going to kind of make it look like it was a closer game. When in reality, we had control the whole entire game. I think in the first quarter, we were up by 21 points or something crazy like that. It was insane. It was just a blowout. It was a blowout on all levels. But yeah, the Sacramento Kings are here to stay. We're an excellent team. I'm excited to see what NBA team or all NBA team that De'Aaron Fox is going to be on this year because he's averaging 30 and 6. Now, to De'Aaron Fox's old counterpart, Tyrese Haliburton, is playing absolutely exceptional this year. He is playing amazing, phenomenal. He is showing us in 10 games what a superstar looks like. I mean, the jumps he's taking, the leaps he's taking, and mind you, it's only year 4. He's averaging 25 and 12. 25 points, 12 assists. Also, if you go on the NBA advanced stats, he's averaging 21 possible assists. He's averaging 21 possible assists, meaning outside the 12, so it goes to 12, and then, there's 9 other shots happening every game on average to where it could be possible assists if they make the shot. I said it on my NBA talk show. Tyrese Haliburton is going to be the NBA player that breaks Scott Skiles' assist record in a game, which was 30. Mind you, Scott Skiles broke the record when the three-point shot wasn't as prominent as it is today, where the fast-paced basketball wasn't as prominent as it is today. The Indiana Pacers offense is built around Tyrese Haliburton. It is meant for him to average above 12 points. 12 assists. It is meant for him to break the assist record. Now, the closest thing we've seen, I think, was Russell Westbrook, the 2020 and 20 game. But Tyrese Haliburton's system is better than Russell Westbrook's system is, which is, if you think about it, it's really crazy because Russ had the ball in his hands predominantly a lot of the time. But the way Tyrese Haliburton in the Indiana Pacers run their offense is a lot of pass, give and goes, A lot of high ball screens, which means he's attacking downhill, so he has a pick and pop option. He has a corner kick, he has a drive and another kick. He has so many options as shooters that when he passes the ball, they're always ready to shoot it. If they don't shoot it, usually he gets the ball right back. Same action, he's passing the ball. He's responsible for 57% of the assists when he's on the floor. Out of 10 possessions, 5 or 6 of those is going to end up in an assist from Tyrese Haliburton. That's an advanced stat. That's a usage rate stat. That's insane. Think about that. That's absolutely insane. So Tyrese Haliburton, also past 2 games, if you're watching this a week from now or hearing this a week from now, you guys are a little late, but he has over 50 points and 30 plus assists with no turnovers. Do you understand how high assist to turnover ratio that is? That's gotta set a record. You have over 30 plus assists in 2 games with no turnovers, and you're playing 34 minutes a game. Tyrese Haliburton, I tip my hat to you, brother. Keep doing your thing. And like I said on my NBA talk show, I hate the comparisons. I hate the what ifs. I hate the, oh man, if Tyrese stayed with Sacramento, we would be way better. I'm like, honestly, I don't see it. I think Tyrese Haliburton being able to, flourish in Indiana, De'Aaron Fox being able to flourish in Sacramento, together, I don't think they would have been able to grow the same way because they would have been fighting for whose team is it. You know what I'm saying? They'd been going back and forth to basically fight for the reins because they're pretty much good, dominant point guards or great dominant guards. So allowing Tyrese Haliburton to have his own team in Indiana and De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento, I think was the best. It was the win-win. It was the best of both worlds. One of the best trades in NBA history, where both teams actually won. Like, you get an All-NBA player in De'Aaron Fox. You have an All-NBA prospect and NBA All-Star on both of them in Tyrese Haliburton in Indiana. What more could you ask? Like, everybody wants to do the what-if game. I just want them to just, take a step back and take your feelings out of it and really look at the scope and the direction the Sacramento Kings were going with 2 great point guards. It was like, at some point in times, one or the other was going to stunt one of their growth because the Kings wanted to give the keys to one of them eventually. Because you can't give the keys to 2 guards. It's not really going to work. 2 wings is a different story. But 2 point guards, I don't know. I personally don't know how that works in today's NBA. But yeah, man, Tyrese Haliburton playing absolutely exceptional. Now, I want to go over my top 5 teams weekly. I do my weekly power rankings up to date. And my top 5 players up to date. So let's go with the top 5 teams right now in the NBA. In my opinion, these are my power rankings. These are not who the best teams are overall, just in general. These are just through week 3. These are my best NBA teams going into week 4. We got number 1. Actually, should be I'll go down the list. We got number 1, the Boston Celtics. I mean, it's they last week I had them in my top 3, but they're the best team in basketball right now. Number 2, this is gonna surprise a lot of you guys. I have the Miami Heat. These dudes are Thanos and the Avengers mixed. Like, it's hard to beat these guys. They're on a 6-game winning streak. No one's talking about it though. With the roster they have, they lost Max Strus, they lost Gabe Vincent, they lost all these guys. It's like they're still hooping. Like, just how it's the culture they've established. It's the coaching and Mike Spoelstra that they've built, just a great culture around guys and a system where everybody can buy in and it's just easy to work with, that they still win games without the big names technically. Tyler Hero's been playing exceptional. Jimmy Butler has been playing like Jimmy Butler. He's there when you need him, and he's there when you need him. Bam Adebayo has been playing absolutely phenomenal as well. But no one's talking about the Miami Heat and that they've won 6 straight. Is mind-boggling to me. Like, why are we not talking about that? Like, why is that not more in the news in the basketball stratosphere? Number 3, we got Denver Nuggets, who have won 1 game. Of course, they lost previously, but they're my number 3 this week. I mean, without Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, arguably still one of the best, if not the best basketball player in the world. Enough said about that. Coming in number 4, I'm going to shock you guys again. I have the Houston Rockets. 6-game winning streak. They've done a whole 180. They have flipped their whole dynamic as a team, as a culture, as a organization. Once they brought Ime Udoka in, they brought Fred VanVleet, and they brought everybody's villain, Dylan Brooks. They've been playing really well. They've had like some certain edge to them. Like, it's not more fun. It's not no more fun and games with the Houston Rockets. They mean business. We haven't seen the Houston Rockets this good since James Harden, CP3, and Russ was there, right? Which is some years ago. So it's like it's refreshing to see a young team with a lot of great talent go out there and play really good. I think the Houston Rockets are going to shock a lot of people moving forward these next 2 or 3 years if they keep that core together. Because Alperen Sengun is Baby Jokic 2.0. For his growth from last year to this year, I can only imagine what the years are going to look like moving on forward, because he's just he's absolutely a hybrid big that does everything you need. He can pass the ball, shoot the ball, dribble, crafty around the basket, play solid defense, very high IQ. The Houston Rockets are scary, man. And don't be surprised if and when they make the playoffs this year. That's going to be a tough 7-game series for anybody. Just because they're young and hungry, man. They don't know no better. Those are the scariest teams to play, but they know no better. Coming in at number 5, I have a 5A and a 5B. At 5A, we have the Sacramento Kings. We won 4 straight. We're getting back on track now. We're getting back to the dominant team that we were last season. We started off the season, the first 6 games, 2-4. Now we are 6-4. Yeah, well, duh, if we're on a 4-game winning streak. Yeah, so we're 6-4 right now, and I think we're getting back on track. Teams don't want to see us, man. We're a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams. So I think we didn't do any big moves in the offseason, kind of actually helped us because we built more chemistry with our guys. We kept our core together, kept our bench together, added a few other pieces. The Sacramento Kings are, I'm telling you, bro, we are nice, excuse my language, as fuck. yeah. So hate if you want to. Coming in at 5B, I still, even though they lost two straight, they lost to Indiana, which Indiana's my 6th spot. Indiana's my 6th spot right now. But they lost to Indiana, and they lost to the Boston Celtics. So, like, those 2 losses to me aren't really bad losses. They're still a top 7 team in the NBA right now, regardless of, even though they lost the past 2 games. You got Joel Embiid averaging 32, 12, and 6. You got Tyrese Haliburton averaging over 25 points a game. They're excelling. They're excelling. Nick Nurse is doing an amazing job over there. I think that coaching change was needed for them to continue to strive for the Eastern Conference Finals, because they haven't been in the Joel tenure. Now, moving on to my top 5 players in the league during or up to date recently, or currently. I'm going to go 5-1. Coming in at number 5, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, averaging 30 and 10. With Giannis, he's always going to be a top 5 player to me. It's early in the season. Him and Dame are trying to figure it out, but he's nowhere less than top 5. But he's 5 for me right now. Any of these guys could be actually 1 if you really think about it. Coming in at number 4, we have Jason Tatum, 28, 9-4, leading the best team in the league right now. Pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing to be said about that. Coming in at number 3. Now, I was going back between 1, 2, and 3. And I think at 3 for me, personally, this is my list. It's my opinion. Nikola Jokic is number 3, averaging 30, 14, and 9. Basically triple-double. Like I said, without Jamal Murray, he's still playing really well, winning games. But for me, I just don't think I have him over 2 and 1, in my opinion. So you guys hear the 2nd and 1st spot, and then we can, debate in the comments, or send me a message if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, etc. But coming in number 2, I have Steph Curry averaging 31, 4 and 4. What Steph is doing with the Golden State Warriors isn't getting enough attention. Up until a night ago, or 2 nights ago, he was the only player on the Golden State Warriors to have games over 20 points. They had no one in the supporting cast. Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Chris Paul. Nobody has even scored over 20 points, and they're still winning games. So Curry is like the definition of carrying an NBA team right now, because everybody else is a no-show. The first player to score 20 points outside of Steph Curry, because he was sitting, was the rookie. I forget how to say his name. It's something Przemski something, and Dario Saric. Those 2 had 20 points plus. So it takes your bench player and a two-way player to score 20 points. But Andrew Wiggins couldn't get you that. Klay Thompson, we got ejected. But Andrew Wiggins still played that game. You got Chris Paul, still couldn't give you 20. I'm just like, damn. I really thought about that. So that's actually a crazy stat. No one on your team besides one player scored over 20 points and y'all still winning games. That's a scary team too. I mean, any team is scary with Steph and Curry on it, man, respectfully. And I'm a Bron stan, so, the Bron and Steph battles throughout the years. Steph's got the best of team-wise Bron. So I'm just, giving him the flowers, calling spade a spade. Steph Curry is amazing and phenomenal. Coming in number 1, you guys can guess, it is Joel Embiid. 32, 12, and 6. during the regular season, man, we always see Joel Embiid dominate. We always just worry about the postseason with Joel Embiid. It's never like, how good is he going to be in the regular season? Now we're like, how good is he and how healthy is he going to be come postseason? Because we hate seeing the excuses of the injuries and everything he's going through come postseason. Because everybody, when you get past game 82, no one's healthy. No one's 100%. It's like an iPhone, right? You have an iPhone for over 3 to 4 years. You know, your battery life actually isn't going to be 100%. It dies, like the battery life, like the health of the battery goes down monthly, yearly, really, really monthly. Like once you, it's like buying a new phone, a new car. Once you move it, take it out the building, you're using it, or you drive off the lot, it loses value. Especially with phones, the battery health continue to die. So with Joel Embiid, and has to understand, what a lot of NBA players have to understand as well, that everybody starts the season off like, oh man, 98, 99%. Once April come around, man, everybody probably like 75, 77. You know, everybody's battery is low, but it's like, yeah, you gotta have that will to win. You gotta figure out a way to win. We can't blame it on injuries every single time, you know? So that's my only worry with Joel Embiid, is how great is he gonna be come postseason? Because we know regular season what we gonna get from Joel Embiid. We gonna get that 32, 12, and 6 on the average. We gonna get that. But we just want to see Joel in the Eastern Conference Finals. We just want to see what he can do when it is on the line. I personally want to see it. I know he hasn't got there, but it's like I selfishly want to see him make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, man. And I think when he does in the future, that's going to be a phenomenal feat, especially for the Philadelphia 76ers in that city. But yeah, that is pretty much my spiel for today's podcast episode. You know, I didn't want to keep you guys too long. I believe we're running on about, let me check the time here, about 26 minutes, 25 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know if you guys like the 2-camera angle. Just want to try something new, something a little different. But yeah, this has been, you know, I like talking basketball. I love talking basketball so much. I was like, why not just get on the podcast and talk about this? You know, it's like therapeutic. It's like therapy. We're talking about basketball with people who like listening, or people that like listening to me talk about basketball. Now, hopefully I'm not bashing your favorite teams, or hopefully I'm talking about your teams enough. If I'm not talking about your teams enough, put it in the comments and let me know, so I can make sure that I put it on my board, that I talk about those certain teams and give them their due diligence as well. Also, I want to spotlight one player that everybody was hating on moving into the season. Like, everybody was calling him bust and all that stuff. All that BS. I want to shout out to Marvin Bagley, man. Marvin Bagley has been playing really well, especially with the Detroit Pistons and that whole thing going on between him and Wiseman fighting for minutes. He's responded very well. And once he left the Sacramento Kings, everybody had bad blood for him. Man, Marvin's actually personally, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Him and his family are great people, exceptional people. Nothing but love for them and their family. So when everybody was hating on him, I'm like, man, you hated on him as a basketball player, which is stupid because he's a good basketball player. But like as a human being, I don't know Marvin from a can of paint. So it was just like seeing him finally be able to prosper and just keep growing and playing, you know, well in a different city. I'm all for that, man, and I'm super happy for my guy. So I just want to give a certain spotlight shout out to Marvin Bagley on this episode. Now, if you guys enjoyed this episode, once again, download it. Give me 5 stars. Let's keep promoting this podcast or keep pushing it, you know what I'm saying, so we can climb the rankings. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. It's free. It's absolutely free. And I will catch you guys on the next Backyard Podcast episode with your host, Marcellus Howard. Everybody have a nice and lovely day out there. Catch you later. We out this thing.